All right. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Lisa Copeland. I hate to be late, but you know what technology does. Good morning. It's Lisa Copeland, 15 minutes of Fierce. And I'm going to give you guys just a couple of minutes to log on here. Let me make sure we're live, everybody. I've got no eyeballs yet, and you usually have about 30 or 40 by now. Let's see here. Here we go. Okay, here comes the crowd. Good morning, everybody. Technology problems, but I am so excited. So this is what happens when your guest lives next door to you and you're having technology problems. You just tell him to come next door so we can do our podcast live. So I want to introduce to everybody JT McCormick, book publisher and just an extraordinary human being. I'm going to jump on here since we're having all kinds of problems so I can say good morning to some people. JT's talked to everybody here for a second.
Yeah, Lisa drug my ass out of bed to come over here. I was standing in my closet ready to do the podcast and technology happened, so I had to walk out. And yes, in Austin, we say it's cold here because it's about 42. So I had to walk across the yard.
Whatever. Whatever. I think this is actually more fun. So this is how crazy it is. How many years have we lived next door to each other? 6 years?
6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
We have been next door neighbors. So I'm going to tell you guys his story in just a minute. But there's this big hot thing going around our whole circle about this guy named David Goggins. Like everybody's obsessed with Goggins. Meet his book publisher. My next door neighbor. So this morning we're talking about books and I'm telling him about all the perils of me being in New York last week, talking about my book. And you guys know the whole tour I've been on and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, I just did a book for this guy Goggins. I was like, oh my God. So anyways, we have a lot to talk about. So this is JT's book right here. And what I love about it, I want to read you guys the first part. It says, I got there, how I overcame racism, poverty, and abuse to achieve the American dream. And I know you guys know on Fridays, it's about the fiercest people I can find. 2 weeks ago, we had John Hamlin on, who's flying in on his jet this morning. So I'm going to go pick him up. We have JT McCormick. I want to show you guys that there are people in this world that overcome the toughest odds to become insanely successful. And sometimes you live next door to them and you don't even know it. I mean, you and I decided one day we're out in the driveway talking. We're like, well, here, versus us telling each other our life stories. Here's my book, Crushing Mediocrity. And then JT gives me his book. This is the new world we live in. Here, read my book.
Here's my book. I don't have a card. Read my book.
Yeah, I don't have a card. Read my book. Okay, so anyways, a lot of you out there, you guys are entrepreneurs, you're speakers, you're out there and you're looking to build a personal brand and credibility. And that's why I brought JT on today, because he is a book publisher. But first of all, JT, tell us about you. Tell them a little bit about your incredible story and how you open up all your keynote speeches.
Oh, okay, there you go. You gave me something to go. I'm like, that's an open-ended question. So yeah. I open up my keynotes with, my father was a black pimp. 1970s pimp and drug dealer. And when I say pimp, I don't mean the world we live in now where somehow we magically turned the word pimp into a positive. My father put women on a street corner, they sold their bodies, and he took every dollar. And then along the way, he also fathered 23 children. So
I think I did read that.
Yeah, so okay. I'm one of 23. My mother was an orphan. She was raised in a 1950s institutional orphanage. I don't know where my last name comes from. To this day, we have no clue. She was given that name in the orphanage. No clue where or why, where it comes from. And people will say this to me often. They're like, oh, McCormick, are you part of the Spice family? Maybe. Let them know if I am. So... But yeah, it's that's what I came into the world to. And I also let people know as well, I was born in 71, so I'm 47. I'm an old guy. And
not that old.
My mother, the only reason I was born is because my mother had an illegal abortion prior to having me. And the abortion was so bad that she chose the second time she got pregnant to have a child and take her chances at raising a child versus go through that horrific experience again. So that's the only reason I made it into the world. And I tell people I'm okay with that. She should not have had me.
A sweetheart. Because I've met JT's mom. She's over next door, and she and my husband are buddies. Like, they're out doing the yard together. Yep. JT and I are probably on an airplane heading out to go speak around the world. But my husband and his mother are buddies anytime she's in town.
Yeah. Yep.
That is so crazy. So how do you go from that whole sense of illegitimacy, and I don't know what other word to use, because you own it and you're transparent about it, which is why I think you're so fascinating, and I think you're so aspirational to people. How do you go from that to a book publisher owning a publishing company extraordinaire?
So I don't believe in the victim mentality. When I sit back and I look at my life, and you can ask yourself, okay, why was I born to the son of a pimp, the mother who was an orphan? Why don't I know where my last name comes from? And then to really top the whole thing off, why was I sexually abused and molested by one of my father's prostitutes at the age of 6, 7, and 8 years old? Oh. Here's what I have found. No matter how many times you ask why, you can't change the past. So I don't believe in a victim mentality. I don't sit and put the covers over my face and lay in bed for a week and say, why me? I don't do victim mentality. I have figured out that I can't change the past. Oh, but damn it, I can change the next hour, week, month, year. So I choose to focus on the things that I actually can change versus the things that I can't. And I also don't do negativity. If you're one of those individuals who find yourself having to say, "Oh, thank God it's Friday," don't come around me. Thank God it's Tuesday. Thank God you have an opportunity.
You're breathing.
Exactly.
That you get to live next door to me.
There you go. Here's a big one that I've been sharing with people a lot lately. Regardless of what side of the political aisle you fall on.
Are you going to tell us what side you fall on? Or are we going to remain politically correct on 15 Minutes of Fierce?
So I have the ultimate luxury that I'm half white, half black.
Oh, so, that's good.
There you go. So I get to say all kinds of things.
Yeah, that's right. But look at this cute little picture. You didn't look mixed in this picture. You were so cute with your little afro.
There you go. Yeah.
So cute.
But the one thing that I say to a lot of people right now is, if you ever wonder or you find yourself feeling depressed, frustrated, angry, negative, think about this for a second. There are people literally traveling 2,200 miles from Honduras all the way up to the Texas-Mexico border. As bad as my life was, on my worst day, I didn't have to face that.
Right.
So I wake up and I say to myself, okay, there's a mom and dad and 2 kids standing on the banks in Syria, getting ready to get on a blow-up raft just to try to flee the country.
It's terrible.
I don't have to worry about that. I'm here in the United States of America. I wake up and...
Living next door to me.
Living next door to Lisa.
Beautiful 4 children. 4 children, brand new baby. So something's going on over there.
Something's going on over there.
We got beautiful wife, Megan, who's just an absolute gorgeous, drop-dead wife, and the most 4 beautiful children you've ever seen. This little Ava, I just want to adopt her and make her president someday.
Yeah, and she talks about that. She says, "Can I be the first woman president?"
Good.
So yeah, I got a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old.
So 5. So it'll probably take 100 years or 50 years to have a woman president in this country. So come on, Ava. I'm going to say I live next door to the first woman president and the book publisher to Goggins. Right there.
Well, here's the thing. Just like I say to myself, anything's possible.
Yeah.
So I teach her that. You can, if you stick to it, your work ethic, you stay positive, it's possible. Love him, hate him, disagree with him. I'm sure a lot of people told Obama he could never be president, and he pulled it off. So, I say that to my little girl all the time. And yes, it is a party at the house. 5-year-old, 3-year-old, 1-year-old, and we got a 4-week-old.
4-week-old.
Yeah.
And these babies are the most precious things you've ever seen. And his wife, Megan, is such a saint. I want you to tell everybody because she just had the baby, and I ran into her outside because JT had a big speaking gig. So I knew that he was going to, she needed to have that baby on time so that he could go to MIT and go speak.
Yes. Yes.
I'm like, how'd that work out for you, Megan?
It was, so prior to speaking to MIT, the week before, I was in Philadelphia. 10 minutes before I go to get on stage for the keynote, I get a text from Megan and say, "Hey, I'm having some hard contractions." And
you're like, we're going to wrap this up quick, people. 30-minute speech.
So I text the woman that controls my whole calendar, Jay, and she gets me on a flight. I get off of the stage. I get to the airport. I land. Megan had to go to the airport. I had to have a driver pick her up and take her to the airport. And I went straight from the airport to the hospital.
Your wife is in labor. Why do you have her coming to the airport versus
No,
to the
I'm
hospital?
sorry, the hospital. The driver picked her up and took her to the hospital.
She should have called me.
And I went straight from the airport to the hospital. And 3 hours after we got there, Jace was born. Yeah.
So this is what we call speaker life. This is what we call publisher life. Okay, so anyways, you've got this amazing life. This is a short show, but we started late, so I'm going to keep going a little bit. Tell us about who some of your authors are. Start with big one, the big hot button right now.
So David Goggins, right now, we cannot print his book fast enough. His book is the most read and best-selling book in America, second only to Michelle Obama. And so right now he has got the hottest book in the country. Well, I can tell you,
everybody watching this show, there are memes, there are everything going around. My good friend Brian Benstock is on here, and he's the one who introduced me to Goggins. And he's like, you can't handle the truth. And if you can't handle the truth, don't read the book, right?
Yes.
So tell us about him. Tell us how he came to you, because there's a lot of you out there, I know, that want to publish books. You want that credibility of having a book. And JT's your guy. I mean, end of story. So now I'm sitting here thinking, to hell with all these people in New York. I'm just going next door to get my book done.
Yeah, it's so with David, he actually received a traditional publishing offer, turned it down, and said, okay, I'm going to keep control myself. And so now he owns 100% of his book. He can do whatever he wants with it. For any of you who've ever gone traditional, they own your ass when you go traditional publishing. So what we've done is we've changed the game on how people do their books. And really, most importantly, we've made it ease of use. So Lisa, if she was going to do her book with us,
Lisa's going to probably do her book with us.
And
I got to get that next door neighbor deal.
She doesn't have to do any of the writing. We want you to sit back and let us pull the information from you.
Because you're afraid of some of the people doing the writing, most likely.
Not only are we afraid, but it's been proven.
They won't sell.
One of the hardest things to do is to think and write at the same time.
Is that like walking and chewing gum? Or
Pretty
what?
much. Yeah. And so it's been proven. It's factual. So we want you to sit back, let us pull the stories from you, let us grab those details that make for a great book. We structure it. We make sure it flows correctly. We help you with the cover design, the interior layout.
Let me ask you, would you have done a cover design for me like that?
No.
Ouch! Ouch!
No, we would have definitely
sad face.
Made a more dynamic cover that would have represented you better.
Louboutin shoes represents me very well. You've lived next door to me for 6 years.
I know.
Do you ever see anything but a red bottom on my shoes?
But you only see the shoes. We would have incorporated you on the cover as well. But see, that's the back.
Okay, see?
See?
Live and learn. This is why I'm not a New York Times best-selling author. I did not consult next door.
So I'm sure some of your people watching would like to know this as well. So the co-founder of our company is Tucker Max. And so if any of you don't know who that is, he is one of only 3 people in the history of the world who have had 3 New York Times best-selling books on the list simultaneously, nonfiction. So he's the co-founder along with Zach and then myself. The 3 of us, we run the company. There's about... Gosh, we're pushing 50 people now.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Are you guys based here in Austin, Texas?
Based here in Austin, greatest city in the country. At least we believe that. We know we're in the best state in the country, so it's...
Talk to me about Audible books, because everyone keeps telling Renee and I that we need to put this on Audible. And I can tell you, I listen to Audible. You see all the books I have. Most of these are gifts from authors and friends and whatever. And so I'm a consumption. Like, I love books, but I'd rather listen to it. Because then I can multitask. I can go work out. I can do whatever. You can,
in the car, on the plane, you can listen to it. So Audible has surpassed actual people reading books.
Okay.
People much rather listen to them because you can pause. You can listen to. I listen to all mine at 1.5 speed, so I can try to consume faster. But it makes it more convenient. And in fact, I can't tell you the last time I actually read a book. All of them are on Audible.
Okay, so what would be your suggestion? So people out there, we've got a big audience, and so you guys, and the audience is growing, which I love. It typically starts winding down at the end of the show, and now it's growing. So, and I want you guys to go out there. I want you to share it. I want you to put it out into all your sales groups, because there's not one of you out there that follows me typically that is not out trying to build a personal brand. You know, and we all know the number one thing to build a personal brand is credibility, which is the book.
Oh, that's right. So this is a sales group. So hold on, let me say this real quick, because I was on a podcast this week and I caught some shit for it. So I
good thing it's a sales group with our little 7 a.m. language this
yes. So I built my career a lot in sales, and I made this comment on a podcast this week, and I caught some flack there. I'll
we already said shit once, so it's okay.
I called some shit. I said that 90% of all salespeople suck, and if you are offended by that comment, you fall in the 90%.
Ooh.
Think about it. Think about it.
Look at this. The numbers are growing. You say that 90% of salespeople suck, and more people tune into this show.
Yeah. Okay. So that's my opinion. But to your point on the book, yes, the book, what it does for people now, credibility, thought leadership, lead generation. And we did a book for a certified financial planner, and I'm going to steal his line. He said it best. He said when he used to give out his business card when he would wrap up with a client and say, hey, if you know of any people who I could work with, will you give them 2 of my business cards? He said, I knew before they left my door, they would throw my cards in the trash. Mm-hmm. He said, now I give them 2 copies of my book, and I say, hey, if you know anyone, will you give them my book? He said, now they're incentivized because people want to show, hey, my guy wrote the book on retirement, so it makes them look good to pass out his book. And his business, his lead generation shot through the roof. He said his year, we did this back in 2017 for him. He said his year increased 300% after he did the book.
Wow. Okay, so what do you look at? I mean, obviously, you know, everyone wants to write a book, and you obviously don't have the time or the energy to take all these books to market. What is it you guys look for in representing somebody?
So we actually turn down about 30% of the people that come to us. The number one reason that we turn people down is they don't have enough content. So you've got a lot of people that have a great idea, not enough content. The second reason is people say, I want to be a New York Times bestselling author and sell 1 million copies.
Oh, that's what I said.
Well, but see, that person's looking for fame. You're not actually looking for fame. Well, yeah, you kind of are. But
hey, when you have your own bobblehead.
See, looking for fame.
But my mother made this for me, just so you guys know.
When people are looking for fame, we tell them, look, you got to go call the Kardashians. That's not our business model. But we're actually looking for people who have a purpose with the book. They want to increase their speaking engagements. They want to increase lead gen, credibility. We've got so many authors who have never sold more than 250 copies of their book.
Well, then they suck.
But they've landed multiple 7-figure contracts. So their book accomplished their goal. Those are my favorite, actually, because the book served what they came for. So when they pay for the book, they're like, I would do this 100 times over.
So how do they find you? How do they, I mean, because I know right now, again, viewership keeps increasing. How do they, Anthony likes my bobblehead. I have to watch y'all's comments over here. Yeah, I've never brought her out before, but I thought JT would get a hoot out of that. Anybody who knows me knows that my son's name is JT too. So it's kind of funny living with JT next door. And I'll tell you this, for the longest time, his girlfriend's name was Megan. So
wow.
Yeah, so I had JT and Megan and JT and Megan over here. But anyways, this Megan's sticking around. The other Megan's history. So that's
nice. Oh yeah, mine isn't going.
No, you got 4 kids,
yeah,
and she's beautiful and amazing, and she puts up with you going out, doing a keynote speech, and then jumping back and having a driver. We would have taken her to the hospital, although we probably weren't home either, so we're not very good neighbors when it comes to that.
I have been fortunate to have a good life, so driver.
You can have drivers. That's not a problem. Okay, so now here's your book. I got there, so I showed you guys. Is that not cute, you guys, with his little afro? It's so fun. You have to see JT's hair now. He won't take his hat off. He's got really short, very, very clean hair, but that little haircut was adorable.
That's 1970s right there.
Yeah, and it was in 19. I think it's coming back though.
It is.
It is.
It is.
I mean, I've seen it.
Yeah.
I think it's coming back. I think it might be something like, give you a little edge there. I don't know.
Oh, this is awesome. I forgot you got a sales group. Man, I want to pick up the phone and make some calls right now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we do have a sales group. I mean, that's who absolutely follows us. And so, you guys, I'm going to play this into Big Sellers too. And if you want to, with a thumbs up and a hearts, if you want me to bring JT back into Big Sellers where we can sit and just like do book deals, let's do that.
I want to come back and talk sales too. I want to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when do you want to come back? I mean,
you
live next door.
Me. Yeah.
What is Monday? Like, what is it?
That would be Christmas Eve.
Yeah, that's probably we're probably going to do that. Okay, we want to have you back next Friday. Are you in town?
Yes.
Okay, because that would be a great way to kick off the year. Like, this guy is a beast. Like, he's up. And it's funny because you have to understand how our houses are set. See, so now that you've been in here, when you see this light on, I'm probably on camera.
I'm going to start throwing stuff at your window.
Exactly. And I think that's your closet. Isn't that your closet over there? The master bath is on this side.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so there's that, and there's like your bedroom, and don't sound weird because we cannot see into each other's houses.
I was going to say, that's going to sound a little weird.
Yeah, we do not see into each other's houses, but I know it from some room in his house, he can see that this light is on.
Yes.
Okay, God, I thought my computer just went dead. So anyways, guys, okay, I'm going to bring JT back next Friday. He's going to come over here because I think it's more fun to come over here than it is to try to do this on Skype, and we're going to do a whole thing on sales. And
nice.
I'm going to let you run it because this is your tribe. These are your people. Like these people, they're insurance, they're automotive, they're financial services, they're real estate.
Excellent.
Yeah, I mean, we're all about selling in this house, because if you don't sell, you don't have an income. End of
Exactly.
Story. End of story. Okay, so between now and Friday, I'm going to post the links, but how does somebody apply to potentially be able to work with your company?
You can go to scribemedia.com and then
SCRIBE media.com.
Okay. Yes, scribemedia.com, and everything you need to know is there, from our videos to our testimonials to how the process works, the pricing. We're 100% transparent on everything. We want you to see what you're getting into.
What is the average price of getting a book to market? I know what we paid on the first book.
Depends on how you do it, but our process to where we interview you and pull it out from you, it's $36,000 or $4,500 a month. So you don't have to stroke a check for $36,000 all at once.
Which is great.
It's very, very great because, like I said,
between editors and
Yes.
I mean all the things we went through on Crushing Mediocrity.
I know you spent more than $36,000 on that book.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. And so, and we didn't use a ghost, although we used one to help fill in our content. I'm all things ghostwriter from here on out because I don't have the time. And to your point, I think other people can pull better information.
Yes.
I mean, it's almost like when my best friend knows me better than I know myself. Like, she can finish my sentences, and I'm like, oh, I didn't think of that. She's like, you were thinking of that. You just weren't getting it out of your mouth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So Scribe Publishing.
Scribe Media.
scribemedia.com. So
Yes.
go check out JT's website. He will be back here in this seat next Friday. We will start on time, and we're going to do all things sales tips, and we will really promote the heck out of this show for next Friday.
Nice.
So we'll probably get thousands of views on it. But if any of you out there found value in this show today, I know you did. Or you just, you guys are a big Goggins fan, share out this show, put it into all of your sales groups out there and put it out there that JT's going to be back on this show next Friday. And let's get it out into these hundreds of sales groups that all of you guys belong to in the world of Facebook. And is there any chance that you're bringing Goggins to Austin, Texas? Because I got some super fans on here. Like, can we have cocktails? Or...
Well, you know this, so we're
you don't drink.
Well, we're here in Austin, so you got Tim Ferriss here, you got Ryan Holiday here,
which are all your clients.
You got Tucker Max is here. So the goal, yes, we would love to bring Goggins here. I was on the phone with him yesterday. If you're wondering, he is as intense as he comes off, but super nice guy. But yes, he is definitely that intense. But great guy. He is actually, I believe, headed to Atlanta right now. But we are definitely trying to get him here to Austin.
I think there should be an Austin speakers tour. Just saying.
Yes.
Because how many women authors do you have?
Oh, a ton. One of my favorite. You'll appreciate this. It's the first woman in America, black woman in America, to own $1 billion company. Most people think it's Oprah.
I was about to say, it's not Oprah?
No, it's Janice Bryant Howroyd. And yes.
You know Oprah.
I do not know Oprah.
Okay, I'm done with you then.
No, I do. I know.
Goggins is not that hot of a ticket for me. But Oprah, oh my God.
I can't help you out there. So to your point, the great majority of our authors, we have a ton of women. It's about a 60-40 split.
How many of them play in the sales space?
Quite a few. I tell you what, I'll round up what the names are, and I'll have them. The beauty of it is, obviously, all of our authors want us to promote them.
Yeah.
So yeah, let me gather those, and
okay.
I will make those introductions.
Okay. Well, ladies and gents, we went a little bit over today. I think I told you guys yesterday. I've got to head out to Georgetown Airport to go pick up Hamlin, who was on the show last week, as he's rolling in on his jet. And we got business to do today. You know, we got dealerships all over town that are begging for us to get there. We've done a bunch of deals for the end of the year. So that's what we're doing today. JT, thank you for coming next door. I'm super glad technology failed. I think it's more fun to have you in person. All right,
so we're going to do in person next week.
Yeah, in person next Friday.
Nice.
We're going to promote the heck out of it. You guys promote the heck out of it. Share it. Come back next Friday. Make sure your sales teams are on here. All you automotive guys, all you car dealers that are on this show. I didn't call all of you off, but it's big. Lots of automotive dealers.
Awesome.
Yeah, and so they have whole sales teams. You know, so anyways, you guys want to finish strong in 2018? Be here next Friday. Well, you better be here Monday morning. But be here next Friday.
You guys are going hard on Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, none of this.
15 minutes. Look at this. It's Fierce 365, right? I mean, you have to be unapologetically fierce 365 days a year. Success does not sleep.
No. Oh, I love it. Yeah. It's the end of the quarter and there's no more sales. It's the end of the year. Everybody's on vacation.
Yeah.
Well, sorry. I almost.
We're going to go G-rated here. Probably a reason that we're good next door neighbors. Okay, everybody. Again, I have not been a respecter of time this morning, but I know how much you guys have enjoyed this podcast. Thank you, JT McCormick. Scribemedia.com. Just if you want to hire them, do not tell him you want to be a New York Times bestseller. But just for the record, I do. So, anyways, I probably have a little bit of leverage because Auntie Lisa could babysit or something. We never know.
There you go.
All right, everybody.
Thank you all.
Peace out, and I will catch you on Monday morning. Bye.